Hare Krishna, we'll start with the invocation. Nana Shastra Vicharanako Nipano Sattharma Samstapako Lokanam Hitakarano Tribhuvane Manyu Saryanakarano Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Anandena Mataliko Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghujugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghujugo Shri Jiva Gopalako He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, thank you all for coming. So today we will cover Nectar of Devotion, chapters 17, 18 and 19, and we will finish Nectar of Devotion today. As we have discussed at the start, that we will only cover the first 19 chapters of Nectar of Devotion. That's what Prabhupada wanted us to do, and rest will follow. And from our next class, we will start Sri Upanishad. So everyone should have the chart for Sri Upanishad, and should have the book. It's better to have the Sri Upanishad book, although it could be a challenge to get the book because it's not available always. Try your best. Now, this chapter 17, 18 on Bhava Bhakti and chapter 19 on Prema Bhakti, these are advanced topics. I have no qualification to talk on these advanced subject matters of Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. Therefore, I will only repeat what I have heard from Acharyas in Parampara. These are literally heavy subject matters. I cannot know these inside out. These are only one can know only by practice. But of course, we'll talk about practical aspects. So chapter 17 is titled Ecstatic Love. And chapter 18 is Character of One Who is in Ecstatic Love. So if you go on your overview chart of Nectar of Devotion, you have chapter 17 and 18 as the third wave, which is Bhava Bhakti. The key points that are covered in this chapter is the definition of Bhava, primary and secondary characteristics of Bhava, and how Bhava is achieved. And the key point in chapter 18 is characteristics of one who is in ecstatic love, meaning one who is in Bhava Bhakti, and neophyte or non-devotee exhibiting signs of Bhava Bhakti. How do you understand this point? And then the other point is, how do you convert such signs of a neophyte into genuine Bhava? And then last point is unexpected symptoms. Those are actually genuine Bhava Bhakti symptoms. So this chapter 17, 18 is on Bhava Bhakti, and following chapter 19 on Prema Bhakti are very advanced topics. beyond me. I will only repeat what I have heard from acharyas. Now I'll start with a question. What is the goal of sadhana bhakti? Anybody knows? What is our bottom line goal? What are we trying to do with sadhana bhakti? Somebody, what are you trying to achieve?
Awaken our love for Krishna.
Okay. So what level would that be? Okay, somebody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, to remember Krishna 24/7.
All right. Ritu?
Yes, same Prabhuji.
Okay. So how do you translate your statements on the various levels that you have on Nectar of Devotion, the various waves that you have? Which wave is your goal? Somebody?
I think Prema Bhakti should be our goal.
All right. Rest of you, what is your goal? Or make a goal now. If you don't have a goal, make a goal. What goal are you trying to achieve with your sadhana bhakti?
Prema Bhakti Prabhu.
Prema bhakti, okay. Rest, somebody else wanted to speak?
Yes,
Sumima?
Prabhuji. I think the bhakti of love is what we wanted. What I want.
Repeat, Sumnima, what level?
Prima Bhakti, Prabhuji.
All right. The rest of you have not answered. Make a goal. What exactly are you trying to achieve if you are not already have a goal? Quickly. And can make a goal. Yes, no, those who didn't answer. What exactly is your goal?
Prabhuji, I don't know what my goal is.
All right. So I want all of you to go back to your nectar of instruction overview chart. And if you recall, this is nectar of instruction, not devotion, instruction. We have these two lines. One is sadhana bhakti and one is raganuga bhakti. So if you notice that my starting point is before the initial shraddha, and I have ended the lines before prema bhakti. So before our initial shraddha, there are a couple of steps, two steps. One is getting mercy of a devotee, and the second step is seva, means service to a devotee. So when you do those two steps before, whether or not you realize that you are doing service or whether you are getting mercy, doesn't matter. Those two steps have to happen before your initial shraddha that you are in step number one. And our goal is from sadhana bhakti to just get to bhava bhakti. And prema bhakti will follow on its own. So yes, you can reach prema bhakti, nothing wrong. Yes, prema bhakti is our goal. But with sadhana bhakti, if you reach bhava bhakti, which is like the ray of sunlight, say coming through a tiny hole in your home, and prema bhakti is the whole sun on itself. So it's all calculated length of the arrows that I had put. earlier. Questions, comments, realizations? So all those who answered, yeah, Monarch Prabhu, go ahead.
Prabhu, one question. Is it possible to have Prema Bhakti being in material world?
You have to become a pure devotee. Yes, it is possible. You can become a pure devotee in material world. Srila Prabhupada is direct example of this. There are many other spiritual masters. There are many other pure devotees. They are all pure. They are not affected by modes of material nature. Pure devotee means you are at bhava or prema.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Prabhuji, is there any difference between Prema Bhakti and Bhava Bhakti?
We'll discuss. Yeah, we'll discuss that today. So we'll populate chart number 4 for Nectar of Devotion, where we'll do the comparison between Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and Prema Bhakti. We'll soon cover today.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So all those who answered about your goal being Prema Bhakti, yes, that's very good. But with Sadhana Bhakti, if you reach Bhava Bhakti, Prema Bhakti will follow. It's like say when you have a fan running and you turn off the switch, the fan still runs because of the energy. So you put your entire energy to reach Bhava Bhakti, and that energy will take you to Prema Bhakti. Everybody on the same page? Sumnima?
So Prabhuji, is it like we do sadhana every day that develops some kind of bhava inside us, and then that bhav eventually develops the prem? Is that what we're trying to do?
Yeah, so the word is not develop, the word is revive. So we have right, and we'll discuss the definition of Bhava Bhakti today, as well as we have discussed this in the definition of Sadhana Bhakti, that Bhava for Krishna already exists in everybody's heart. We are just trying to revive. Sumnima?
Okay, Prabhuji.
So Bhava Bhakti level is the beginning of perfection, and Prema Bhakti level is the perfected stage. So Bhava Bhakti is like the ray of sun, and Prema Bhakti is the sun itself. So my question, one other question is, can anyone fall down from Bhava Bhakti? Anyone wants to take a guess?
Yes, Prabhuji.
All right, rest of you, anyone wants to take a guess? Sunu also says yes, Monarch says no. So it is possible to fall down from Bhava Bhakti only because of one reason, which is offenses. One can fall down from Bhava Bhakti because of offenses. And once one reaches Prema Bhakti, one does not fall down. Prema Bhakti, there is no fall down. So there is at least one, potentially two cases in ISKCON where advanced devotees from Bhava Bhakti, they have fallen down. So Sumnima, yes, Maya attacks everyone. Even those who are pure devotees, Maya attacks everyone. It's just that the pure devotees laugh at Maya attacking them because they visualize saying, hey, Maya Devi, hey, come sit beside me and also help me become a pure devotee like you. One devotee virtually present among us right now messaged me saying, how do I stop Maya Devi to stop attacking me? Arey Baba, you cannot stop Maya Devi. Maya Devi is going to continuously attack you because Maya Devi is not trying to hurt you. Maya Devi is actually trying to get you out of your sense gratification and your enjoying mentality. Sumnima?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, as you said, they only fall down by doing offenses. I thought if Maya attacks them, would they fall down or not?
So Maya attack, like offenses happen. Offenses can happen for many reasons. Maya can attack and you become greedy, envious. And Srimad Bhagavatam says this exact same point in Canto 4 at the start, that one commits offense because of envy. And why do you have envy? Is because you think I can enjoy so-and-so thing in the material world, or so-and-so thing is not enjoyable. Means you are in dualities, and dualities happen because of Maya. So it's not like a easy to identify what causes offenses, but there are some guidance which I just described.
Okay, Prabhuji.
All right. So let's start with the definition of bhava. I have it on screen. Now I won't ask you to memorize this. You can, if you like, you can take a snapshot and memorize. That Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma Prema Suryamshu Samyak Bhak Ruchi Bhi Chitta Asanya Krit Asubhava Uchate. Samma translation Bhava Bhakti from the screen.
When devotional service is situated on the transcendental platform of pure goodness, it is like a ray of sunlight of love for Krishna. At such a time, devotional service causes the heart to be softened by various tastes, and it is called bhava, emotion.
So the primary characteristics of Bhava Bhakti is that it's Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma, that pure goodness enters devotee's heart. So Shuddha Sattva means pure goodness is not material mode of goodness, but Shuddha Sattva is Lord's internal potency. The function of this internal potency is to awaken the dormant love for Krishna. So just as Sumni was inquiring a few minutes ago, that we are not trying to develop anything. The love for Krishna already exists in everybody's heart, whether somebody is in a human body or bird body or animal body or reptile body. Everybody has love for Krishna. It is just sitting dormant. And the function of this internal potency is to awaken that dormant love for Krishna. Just as a seed cannot grow without sunlight, sun's heat and light. Similarly, the dormant seed in living entity of the love for Godhead, means the prema, it cannot grow without the touch of Lord's devotional energy, which is Shuddha Sattva. So this is primary characteristics of Bhava Bhakti, Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma. The secondary characteristics of Bhava Bhakti are two. One is Bhava Bhakti softens the heart of a devotee. The devotee very easily is moved by Krishna conscious emotions. Bhava Bhakti, and the second of the secondary characteristics is that Bhava Bhakti gives rise to three tastes. A, Prapti Abhilasha, means desire to achieve Krishna. B, Anukulya Abhilasha, means desire to please Krishna with services. And C, Sahudra Abhilasha, means desire to be close at heart with Krishna. So I have already described this point earlier, that one can reach Bhava Bhakti directly from Vedi Sadhana Bhakti, or one can reach Bhava Bhakti from Raganuga Bhakti, or one can switch from Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti to Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, some place after Anartha Nivritti. But it's not mandatory. Of course, it's easier. The Raganuga is easier. But either way, either Vaidhi itself or Raganuga itself or a mix of Vaidhi plus Raganuga, you can reach Bhava Bhakti level. And Srila Narad Muni is the example for reaching Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti from Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Now, question is, how do I achieve Bhava? Or what are the ways to achieve Bhava Bhakti? First is by spiritual practice. So, spiritual practice can be one of the two paths. One is the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, by very stringent spiritual practice, serve and associate with advanced devotees. And Srila Muni is the perfect example for this, described at great length in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5 and 6. And the second way to achieve under the first by spiritual practice is through Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. An example in the Nectar of Devotion is given for Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti of Chandrakanti, that she saw Gopinath's form, the deity form, and she just wanted to dance for Krishna, because Chandrakanti desired to develop sentiments of Ragatmika, like the gopis. So Chandrakanti did not waste a single moment and just kept dancing all night. So that this not wasting time is bhava nature. I'll soon give you characteristics of bhava and you will soon understand. So this is how to achieve bhava. This is the first step or first way by spiritual practice, which can be either Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti or Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti or a combination. And the second way to achieve bhava is by special mercy. Now, special mercy can also be in two ways. The first is bhava is attained through Krishna's special mercy. So, Krishna's special mercy can come in three ways. One is vachika, means speaking, by verbal blessing. Example, Krishna blessed Srila Narad Muni by verbally speaking to him. Second way of Krishna's special mercy is darshan, by glance, that Krishna's blessing by appearing in person. Example, Dhruv Maharaj. Krishna appeared in front of Dhruv Maharaj. And the third way of Krishna's special mercy is harda, means by good wishes, blessings of the Lord. Example is Sukadev Goswami. He achieved bhava within the womb of his mother. That Krishna came and blessed him and said, no, come out of the womb. So Sukadev Goswami stayed in mother's womb for 16 years because he didn't want to get entangled in the material world. So Krishna came and blessed, said, no, you are already blessed. You will not get entangled by material nature. Come out of the womb. And the second way of the special mercy. So first way of the special mercy was Krishna's special mercy, which was three ways, vachika, darshan, harda. The second way of the mercy is by mercy from a devotee. There are many examples. For example, Narad Muni blessed Prahlad Maharaj, or Mrigari, a hunter. There are many examples. I'm only giving a couple just to explain the point. So Srila Prabhupada says that achieving bhava solely by mercy is not common. One who expects to achieve bhava by mercy alone is like one who expects to complete college not by studying hard, but by getting an honorary degree. So yes, if you get mercy, that's a real rare and special case. We don't have to wait for that. Yeah, you can always long for mercy, nothing wrong for it. But to achieve bhava, we have to do spiritual practice by Vaidhi sadhana bhakti or Raganuga sadhana bhakti or a mix. Questions, comments, realizations? So there are 9 characteristics of one who is at bhava bhakti level. So make a note of these and you can judge, say when you are at the temple next time, it's possible you may see somebody with these characteristics and you can judge that, oh, this is devotee is at bhava bhakti level. So these 9 characteristics are possessed by genuine bhava bhakta. A person can neither imitate these bhava bhakti characteristics nor can anyone conceal these bhava bhakti characteristics, these 9 symptoms. Therefore, these are excellent standards for ascertaining who is at bhava bhakti stage. So, the 9 characteristics. First is utilization of time. That one is in constant engagement in devotional service 24 hours a day. Second, perseverance. Means to remain tolerant and patient even amid great disturbances. Third is detachment. Means complete indifference to objects of sense gratification. Fourth is pridelessness. One feels humble even though he is extremely elevated. Fifth is hope against hope. Means firm faith that Krishna will deliver one to the highest perfection, even though one feels low and utterly unqualified to achieve it on his own. Sixth, intense eagerness for achieving pure loving service. Seventh, constant attraction to chanting Hare Krishna. Eighth, addiction to glorifying Krishna's qualities. 9, love for living in Lord's Dham. So this point number 7 about constant attraction to chanting Hare Krishna. I have given the example of my spiritual master, His Grace Vaishyadas Adhikari, multiple times, that many years back, I had this one-on-one meeting with my spiritual master. Although he's not my spiritual master back then, I have not taken shelter. I'm just, devotees say, just go meet with him. And I'm just meeting with him. He was acting as Shiksha Guru, even though I did not know that he's acting as Shiksha Guru. So one time I had this meeting, I went, at the Toronto temple, my spiritual master stays at Srila Prabhupada's quarters, which is one level above the main level at the temple. So it's like about 10 steps you have to climb from the main level. So I went, climbed the 10 steps, and at the door, my Guru Ma was sitting with one another devotee as doorkeeper. And I was told that the previous meeting ended early, so Guru Maharaj is right now chanting his Gayatri mantra. And would you like to stop his Gayatri mantra for your meeting, or would you like to wait and come back? Obviously, I was not going to disturb my spiritual master chanting Gayatri mantra. I said, no, I will just wait. Just call me whenever he is ready. So I took the 10 steps down to the main level, and I got a phone call. Okay, Guru Maharaj is ready to meet you. So I take 10 steps. It literally takes less than 30 seconds. When I reached my Guru Maharaj's room, he was already chanting on his beads Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So the previous meeting ended few minutes early. My Guru Maharaj was chanting Gayatri Mantra. And before meeting me, just that 30 seconds, he was not wasting that time. He was chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And you will notice few other such pure devotees visiting at your respective temples. And there are a few at the Toronto temple also. When they have nothing else to do, so they will give class, they will talk about services, do services, take rest. Rest of the time, they are only chanting. They sit in front of Tulsi Maharani room and they just chant. This is the constant attraction to chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Questions, comments, realizations? All right. So now this point about neophytes showing signs of Bhava Bhakti. Very important point to understand. There are multiple devotees from our multiple classes who have actually experienced this Bhava Bhakti. Now, question is that if sincere devotees don't achieve Bhava, how can a neophyte exhibit signs of Bhava Bhakti? When we already discussed that these 9 characteristics you cannot imitate and you cannot conceal. So how can a neophyte exhibit signs of Bhava Bhakti? The answer is that neophytes showing signs of Bhava Bhakti are reflection of pure devotee onto the heart of a neophyte. This is known as Rati Abhas. So there are 2 types of Rati Abhas. One is Pratibimba, means reflective, meaning performing devotional service with ulterior motive for fruitive gain or liberation. Although the neophyte's motive is corrupt, still the practice is intense. So while performing devotional service in association of devotees, the neophyte experiences bhava symptoms because the genuine bhava or the ecstasy of a pure devotee is reflecting upon the mirror of neophyte's heart. And therefore the neophyte is exhibiting signs of bhava bhakti. And the second type of rati abhas is chaya, means shadow. So the person executes devotional service out of social convention. So execution of devotional service under pratibimba is intense, while the execution of devotional service under chaya is less intense. Now, motive under pratibimba is corrupt, while motive under chaya is less corrupt. So such neophytes may exhibit bhava symptoms, means ecstasy symptoms, specifically during, say, Kirtan or big festivals, or when they visit Holy Dham, or occasional association of pure devotees. So both these Pratibimba and Chaya are caused by the power of pure devotees. So in simple terms, even though Bhava Bhakti is just like a tiny ray of sunlight, still Bhava Bhakti is very intense, and Bhava Bhakti is very difficult to handle unless the devotee is very advanced. Therefore, this experience of Rati Abhas, either Pratibimba or Chaya, is like a precursor to the tiny ray of sunlight, which is Bhava Bhakti. So, this Rati Abhas is a precursor to Bhava Bhakti, so that one can handle that tiny ray of sunlight. Then you will be able to handle Bhava Bhakti. Otherwise, Bhava Bhakti is very intense, even though it is very tiny. So there are multiple devotees from our batches who have actually experienced this Bhava Bhakti, that they had gone to the temple on special occasions. One I remember to be on Gita Jayanti. Probably both were on Gita Jayanti on different years. I can't remember right now. One was definitely Gita Jayanti. And the devotee messaged me that I have some feeling I cannot describe. And what exactly is going on with me? So I asked, what's going on? What happened? What was the circumstance? And the devotee said that the devotee went for this Gita Jayanti program where the entire Bhagavad Gita was being read. There were many devotees, or potentially some pure devotee was there. So this is at a different location. I did not know who was physically present. So I explained that this is the Rati Abhas, that the bhava of a pure devotee got reflected on this neophyte. Some neophyte attending bhakti classes at the start was showing signs of bhava bhakti. So it is possible, and this is not just made up. I'm just giving some examples. There are many cases. I'm just giving some examples. I will pause here for questions, comments, realizations.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have a question. Will this Bhava Bhakti, like you called Chaya, right? Will it develop into like pure Bhava later on, or like it's just temporary there for some time?
Very good. So it's temporary there, and that's my next question, that how do you convert Rati Abhas to genuine Bhava Bhakti? Yes, it's temporary, but you can convert. So how do you convert? Both Pratibimba and Chaya are caused by the power of pure devotee. By serving such pure devotees, neophytes' imitative attachment can transform into genuine attachment. So we have discussed earlier that bhakti is the cause of bhakti. Attachment towards Krishna cannot be invoked in a neophyte without being blessed by association of a pure devotee. So once you get that mercy, that association, that reflection, either it be Pratibimba or Chaya, then you realize and you serve pure devotees, you take up the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti seriously by getting initiated, and that Rati Abhas, either Pratibimba or Chaya, can get transformed into genuine Bhava Bhakti. Raksha and everybody?
Yes, Prabhuji, got it.
Now look at the other way around. That what if advanced devotee who is at a genuine Bhava Bhakti level, he's showing symptoms of faults? Then what do you do? So Srila Rupa Goswami explains that although Bhava Bhakti has arisen, sinful reactions may not be completely destroyed. So we should disregard such faults, understanding that the devotee will soon become completely perfect. All those leftover sinful reactions will get destroyed. An example is given that if you look at the moon, the illumination of the moon cannot be checked by the dark spots on the moon. So if you look at the moon, specifically say on a full moon, you can very easily see dark spots on a moon, but still the illumination is still there. Similarly, some leftover sinful reactions in a advanced devotee who is at genuine bhava stage, we should just ignore that faults because he will soon get completely perfect. That's a quick overview of Bhava Bhakti level. Questions, comments, realizations? Everybody on the same page?
Yes, Prabhuji.
All right, thank you. So I will now describe Prema Bhakti. Again, this is even more advanced. I don't have any ability to explain. I will only explain very few points on this based on what I have heard from previous acharyas. So chapter 19 is titled Devotional Service in Pure Love of God. And the key points covered in this chapter 19 is definition of Prema Bhakti, the primary characteristics, the secondary characteristics, types of Prema, and how to achieve Prema. So as I said, chapter 19, I will only explain very brief because both these Prema Bhakti and Bhava Bhakti are similar. Prema Bhakti is developed stage of Bhava Bhakti. When one's desire to love Krishna, when one's relationship intensifies, is called pure love of God, is called Prema Bhakti. So you have the definition of Prema Bhakti also on the screen, although a little difficult to memorize in Sanskrit. You can try, you can take a snapshot. Kunal Prabhu, translation, Prema Bhakti definition from screen.
Hare Krishna. When the bhava softens the heart completely, becomes endowed with a great feeling of possessiveness in relation to the Lord, and becomes very much condensed and intensified, it is called prema, love of Godhead, by learned scholars, Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 23.7.
So the primary characteristics of Prema Bhakti is in the third line of the verse. Bhava sa eva sandratma means prema is intensified. Sandra is intensified. Prema is intensified state of bhava. And the secondary characteristics of prema bhakti is the first and the second line. First line says, Samyan Mashininto Swanto, that prema completely softens the heart. And the second line says, Mamatva Atishakintikatta, that prema is marked by highly possessiveness of Sri Krishna. So regular devotional service has the mood that I am Krishna's, while prema bhakti has the mood that Krishna is mine. So two ways to achieve prema bhakti. First is either Vaidhi sadhana bhakti to bhava bhakti. So prema arising from bhava awakened through Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. So devotee is executing regulative principles of devotional service. He develops Krishna consciousness and his heart is softened. Or the other is Raganuga sadhana bhakti to bhava. That prema arising from bhava awakened through Raganuga sadhana bhakti. So this is one way, either Vaidhi sadhana bhakti to bhava or Raganuga sadhana bhakti to bhava, or a combination. And the second way to achieve prema is achieved through extraordinary mercy of Krishna. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, chapter 12, verse number 7, 11.12.7, Krishna says to Uddhava that gopis did not study Vedas to achieve me. Gopis did not go to holy places. Gopis did not execute regulative principles. Gopis did not execute any austerities. It is simply by my association that they have attained the highest perfection of devotional service. Questions, comments, realizations on how to achieve prema? All right. So there are two types of prema. First is Mahatmya Jnana Prema, means prema is mixed with the knowledge of Lord's majesty. So devotees who achieve Bhava Bhakti from Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti will generally attain Mahatma Gyan Prema. And the second type of prema is Kevala Prema, which is unmixed and pure prema. It is pure and one-pointed prema, not even slightly mixed with any other aspiration or interest. Devotee does not have any aspiration for Vaikuntha, no aspiration for liberation, no interest in Lord's power and opulence. Rather, devotee with one-pointed love, Kevala Prema, is always lovingly fixes his mind upon Shri Krishna without the slightest deviation to any other topic. And devotees achieving bhava from Raganuga sadhana bhakti will generally attain Kevala Prema. I mean, both are prema levels. So Krishna says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela chapter 3, text number 16 and 17, that Vaidhi sadhana bhakti does not attract Krishna. By Vaidhi bhakti, one may attain Vaikuntha planets. But Krishna is attracted by prema bhakti, means in the mood of love. And to teach this prema bhakti, Krishna came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the combined form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srimati Radharani. That is chapter 19, Prema Bhakti in brief. Questions, comments, realizations? All right. So now we will populate chart number 4. So I had given you earlier to print. So chart number 4, it won't fit here. Take a blank page and make 4 columns. You have 10 bullet points to write under each of these 4 columns. And I'll go very slow, you populate, and then we'll pause for questions, comments, realizations. So the chart number 4 is a comparison between Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and Prema Bhakti. Many of you have asked me questions throughout in terms of comparison, or even Ritu was asking now. Once we populate this chart number 4, if your question is not answered, you can by all means ask the question again. It should get answered. So left column, you write Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Second column from left, you write Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. Third column from left, you write Bhava Bhakti. And the fourth column is Prema Bhakti. So these are your titles: Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and Prema Bhakti. And I will give you 10 points under each, and I'll give you 1 point at a time. So point number 1 will be across for all 4, and point 2 across for all 4. So point number 1, Vaidhi, conditioned soul wanting liberation. First point under Raganuga, same, conditioned souls wanting liberation. First point under Bhava, conditioned souls will be liberated. First point under Prema, eternally liberated. Second point under Vaidhi, impetus for sadhana is external, either guru, shastra, or fear. Second point under Raganuga, impetus for sadhana is from within. Second point under Bhava, spontaneous attraction. And second point under Prema, spontaneous love for Krishna. Third point under Vaidhi, tries to meditate on Krishna. Third point under Raganuga, absorbed in meditating on relationship between Ragatmika devotee and Krishna. Third point under bhava, absorbed most of the time. Third point under prema, completely absorbed in Krishna. Fourth point under Vaidhi, not a pure devotee. Fourth point under Raganuga, could be a pure devotee. And fourth point under bhava and prema are same, is a pure devotee. Fifth point under Vaidhi, still working on anartha nivritti. Sixth point under Raganuga, anartha nivritti has largely happened. Sixth point under bhava, anarthas have disappeared. Sixth point under prema, no anarthas. Seventh point under Vaidhi, heart going through cleansing and softening process.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I was the only one missed it, but I think we are on 6th point.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. 6th.
Okay. Should be fifth point. So let me explain for Vaidhi all 4 points and we'll know where we are. Okay. So Vaidhi first point is conditioned souls wanting liberation. Vaidhi second point is impetus for sadhana is external, either guru, shastra or fear. Third point for Vaidhi is tries to meditate on Krishna. Fourth point for Vaidhi is not a pure devotee. Tara, do you have all 4? Which is the fifth point you have?
Yes, Prabhuji. 5th one, I have still working on anartha nivritti.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so maybe you just misnumbered it because you said we'll be talking about 7th point.
Okay, so okay, ignore. So we are all on the same page. So fifth point we are still writing. I'll explain fifth point for all. So fifth point is Vaidhi still working on anartha nivritti. Sixth under Raganuga, fifth point under Raganuga, my mistake, somehow I am jumbling words. So Raganuga, anartha nivritti has largely happened. Fifth point under Bhava, anarthas have disappeared. And fifth under Prema, no anarthas. Everybody on the same page with 5 points?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Sorry for my mistake. Now, 6th point, Vaidhi. heart going through cleansing and softening process. Sixth point under Raganuga. Some softening of heart is occurring. Sixth under Bhava. Heart is softened, gives rise to many devotional tastes. And sixth point under Prema. Heart is completely softened. Bhava is completely matured. All right. Seventh point under Vaidhi. Conflicted between material and Krishna consciousness. Under Raganuga. Has spontaneous desire and lobha, meaning eagerness to serve Krishna. 7 point for Bhava. Has natural, spontaneous desire to serve Krishna. Seventh for Prema. Completely absorbed in Krishna. Does not mind taking any service for Krishna. Meghna, you wanted something to ask?
Prabhuji, seventh point for Vedhi Sadhana Bhakti. Can you repeat that?
I will
Possible?
repeat. Yeah, I will repeat all 7. 7 Vaidhi, conflicted between material and Krishna consciousness. 7 for Raganuga, has spontaneous desire and lobha, meaning eagerness to serve Krishna. 7 for Bhava, has natural, spontaneous desire to serve Krishna. 7th for Prema, completely absorbed in Krishna, does not mind taking any service for Krishna. Everybody on the same 7 counts?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Thank you. 8 under Vaidhi, follows regulative principles. 8th Raganuga, follows regulative principles but not dependent on scriptural injunction for their inspiration. 8th Bhava, not limited to regulative principles. 8th Prema, completely above regulative principles but still naturally follows regulative principles. Ninth, Vaidhi, I am Krishna's servant sometimes. Ninth, under Raganuga, I am Krishna's. Ninth bhava is the same. I am Krishna's. Ninth under prema, Krishna is mine. Tenth under Vaidhi. So 10th point under Vaidhi, Raganuga and Bhava is identical. Depends on Krishna. And 10th point for Prema Bhakti feels Krishna depends on the devotee. Everybody got all the 10 points?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So you can judge for yourself what is your level. You can circle what all points are applicable. I can tell you for me, point number 9, Vaidhi says, I am Krishna's servant sometimes. Well, I am under Vaidhi or trying to be Vaidhi. And you can also set your goal that what you need to do to come to bhava and prema level, not artificially. So we discussed that bhava bhakti symptoms you cannot imitate and you cannot conceal. Questions, comments, realizations, everybody can see where they are and where they want to go. About silence. Ritu, you had a question. Did it get answered?
Yes, Prabhuji, most of the part.
All right. What is left? Anything?
I will go through it again, Prabhuji, and
All
then
right.
I will come back to you.
Okay. Rest of you, questions, comments, realizations?
Prabhuji, I just missed the 8th point of Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, just the last couple words.
Yeah, so 8th point under Raganuga is follow regulative principles, but not dependent on scriptural injunction for their inspiration.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Rest of you, what's your feeling about nectar of devotion?
Prabhuji, it teaches us how to develop the relationship with Krishna. There are types through which we can develop.
Very good. So you understand that Bhagavad Gita on itself is not enough. You need the practice which is there in Nectar of Instruction and Nectar of Devotion. Does everybody have enough practice points from Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion to practice the Bhagavad Gita principles?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So with this, we have completed Nectar of Devotion. I request all of you to please give me feedback. Individually, you can message me offline and let me know what I can do better to serve you all better. And from our next class, we will start Shishopanishad. Everyone should have a shell template for Shishopanishad. I think Kunal Prabhu may not have. I will populate in the chat right now. And you can download. It's a simple Excel document. And we'll populate this in our next class. And those who are listening to class recordings can get the template either from me or from Sumnima. And get the book. It's easier. Better. All right. Now I will answer inquiries submitted by devotees from the previous class. And I'll also share striking points. So let's see. Bring up on screen. Question 1. Can you please help me in understanding once again who are impersonalists? So Brahman effulgence is impersonal feature of the absolute truth. There is no activity at Brahman effulgence. Gyan Yogi try to focus on Brahman effulgence to attain Brahman effulgence. And Gyan Yogis are these impersonalists. Question number 2. Can you please help me in understanding about Pushti Marg? So Nectar of Devotion, chapter 16, last paragraph describes Pushti Marg. So Pushti Marg is another name for devotional service. So Pushti means nourishing. So devotional service is nourishing the devotional sentiment. Question number 3. Chapter 15, paragraph 9, last line says, an impersonalist can be elevated to Vaikuntha, where as a surrendered soul, he attains bodily features like that of the Lord. So series of questions are, what does it mean by bodily features like those of the Lord? And what would they have otherwise? Would they be in soul form and not have a body unless they reach Vaikuntha? Does this mean when Bhakta goes to Vaikuntha, they again get another body along with the soul? So I will show you visuals for this. That all pure devotees in Vaikuntha they look identical to Lord Narayan with the bluish body with four-handed arms. So one visual you have on the screen is Dhruv Maharaj. So this person trying to climb the airplane, swan-like airplane, is Dhruv Maharaj. And these two individuals, they are pure devotees. They are Vishnu Dutas from Vaikuntha Loka. They are residents of Vaikuntha. They have come in a swan-like airplane to take Dhruv Maharaj, pure devotee, to Vaikuntha. So you can visualize, or you can see that the residents of Vaikuntha have exact same forearms, bluish body. They look identical to Lord Narayan. And I'll show you another visual also, that when Ajamil, so this person lying is Ajamil and his soul is being dragged by Yamadutas. But because Ajamil called out the name of Narayan, although he was calling for his son Narayan, but the name Narayan is so powerful that Vishnu Dutas came to protect the soul of Ajamil and fought with Yamaduta, saying, no, he has called Narayan. So again, just a visual that all the residents of Vaikuntha, they look identical to Lord Narayan. Now a question will become that, well, how do I differentiate with Narayan? So I will bring up on screen 3.19.15 Srimad Bhagavatam purport, which describes that all residents of Vaikuntha planet have the same bodily features as Lord Narayan, such as bluish body, forearms. And there is a Srivatsa mark on Lord Narayan. And this is how you distinguish Lord Narayan. So let's read 3.9.15. I'll bring up on screen. I'm just loading and then I will share my screen. No, it's not 9. Sorry, my mistake. It's 3.19.15. 3.19.15. All right, so I will share my screen and Ritu will read from the screen. Okay, Ritu, so the top part is the purport for 3.19.15.
Hare Krishna, Srivasa is a curl of white hair on the chest of the Lord, which is a special sign of his being the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Vaikuntha Lok or in Golok Vrindavan, the inhabitants are exactly of the same form as the personality of Godhead. But by this Srivasa mark on the chest of the Lord, he is distinguished from all others. Hare Krishna.
So going back to the question, that soul always has a spiritual body. While the soul is in the material world, the soul is covered by the physical material body and the subtle material body. When the soul purifies and goes back to Godhead, the soul regains the original spiritual body. Does that answer the series of questions? All right. So question number 4 and 5, I will park this question right now. I will read the question and I will park these question 4 and 5 because for batch number 6 and 7 devotees, a related spiritual endeavor is coming up that will answer this question. So the question 4 says, a deep worry is how to talk to a spiritual master and elevated devotees. When I talk, I tend to detail out only materialistic vocabulary. Even if I try spiritual vocabulary, does not come out. How to make my vocabulary completely spiritual, just as the senior or pure devotees and spiritual masters express themselves. And then question 5 is, I do not wish to be a medium to thoughts of material plane miseries or any negativity for any higher devotee or spiritual master. Rather, I would like to be a medium for them to reach Sri Krishna, just as they are being a medium for us. How can I, as a neophyte devotee, be a medium for them, even in a minute, insignificant scale? So as I said, I will park these question number 4 and 5 because batch number 6 and 7 devotees are soon going to get a related spiritual endeavor where this will get answered. Now for devotees in and around Toronto, last time they all met with my spiritual master, His Grace Vaishyadas Adhikari. I did teach them what to do and what not to do, as well as when devotees met with His Grace Chetnachan Das, when he was in Toronto this time as well as previous times, devotees followed the same approach. From question number 5, the last point, the last part of the question, I will answer right now. That the question says, I want to be the medium for spiritual master to reach Sri Sri Radha Krishna. So this point I will answer right now and the rest of the question with question number 5. So you have to understand that spiritual masters are always in constant remembrance of Sri Sri Radha Krishna, and they are always above the modes of material nature. You are not a medium for spiritual master. We have discussed this in Bhagavad Gita 4.34, that spiritual master is free from the modes. I am bound by the modes. Therefore, only someone who is free from the modes can untie me from the modes. By following the instructions of spiritual master helps the disciple to come to the same point of being in constant remembrance of Sri Sri Radha Krishna. So spiritual master stays in the material world as long as all his disciples are back home to Godhead. Therefore, what you can do as a disciple is to ensure to follow the instructions of spiritual master so that you go back home to Godhead, and this way spiritual master is not stuck in the material world. And even if spiritual master is in the material world, spiritual master is never controlled by the modes of material nature. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Krishna has said that spiritual master is manifestation of Paramatma. Therefore, you can never be the medium for spiritual master to reach Sri Sri Radha Krishna. No, they are already there. Does that help for the time being for the other part that I have parked and some part I answered? All right, last question for today. You described it, but I forgot. Could you please describe again Anukulena Krishna Anushilanam Bhaktir Uttamam? Does it mean we have to do bhakti according to time, place, and circumstances? So yes, you have to do bhakti according to time, place, and circumstances. So the verse that is referenced in the question is the pure devotional verse in Nectar of Devotion, which is Anya Abhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavratam. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam Bhaktir Uttama. So this Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam is the primary characteristics, or that we have to do service which is Anukul, means favorable for Krishna and as Krishna desires. So Shilanam means devotional service. So if you look at example of Kamsa, Kamsa was also in constant remembrance of Krishna, more than what devotees remember Krishna. But Kamsa's remembrance of Krishna is not Anukul. Kamsa is trying to hurt Krishna or kill Krishna. Therefore, Kamsa's remembrance is not Anukul. So we have to do devotional service which is Anukul, means favorable for Krishna and as Krishna desires. Does that answer the inquiry? All right. Striking points. You have 5 slides. This is slide number 1. Take a snapshot. Slide number 2. Number 3. Number 4. And number 5. So on the chart number 4 that we populated today about the comparison between Vaidhi, Raganuga, Bhava and Prema, at the bottom you can write 2 points. For Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, only eligible relationship is servant. And the other point is that be very cautious of Siddha Pranali point, which we discussed at great length at our previous class. Questions, comments, realizations? So as I already said that we have completed Nectar of Devotion, I request all of you to please provide feedback to me. And from next class, we'll start Shishopanishad. Dhara has said that Shishopanishad book is available at the Toronto Temple. Thank you. Rest of you can get it from your respective places. Those in Toronto and around area can get from Toronto. Now, in terms of revision for Nectar of Instruction and Nectar of Devotion, for batch number 1 and 2, I do recall Nectar of Instruction revision, Nectar of Devotion revision, I don't remember. It was a long time ago. So for this batch number 5, the revision for Nectar of Instruction and Nectar of Devotion will happen with batch number 3 and 4. So right now in batch number 3 and 4, Bhagavad Gita revision is happening. And after the Bhagavad Gita revision, then in sequence we'll be revising Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, and Shishopanishad. So you do the revision, means where you all will be having the opportunity to do the presentations in that batch together with devotees from batch 3 and 4. So all of you should try to pick up some portion of presentation. Now, some of you have had concessions from me that where you have said that, oh, this is overwhelming for me. And I have said, okay, for the time being, you can skip presenting, you can skip your endeavors. Well, you have to come out of that at some point of time to be able to get back on track. So the concessions are that they are temporary. You have to get back to your regular, just as somebody has a fracture. You cannot ask a fractured person to run. He's allowed to take some baby steps or even just sit when everybody is supposed to stand. But he will recover and then get back on track. So similarly, all those who have concessions, you should try to get back on track little by little. You don't have to jump. So somebody with a fracture, when the cast is taken off, he doesn't start running right away. He will take baby steps. Similarly, you also take baby steps to get back on track. Everybody can do that, please. Everybody willing to do the revisions for Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion together with batch 3 and 4 devotees?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So I will inform all of you when that revision will start. I mean, you are all welcome to join the Bhagavad Gita revision. Some of you are already there in batch 3 and 4. So the batch 3 and 4 classes are Sunday, 7 a.m. Toronto time, just before this class. So you can definitely join, and then it will continue to the next set of scriptures. So the standard is that after every class, every week, we should be reciting Vaishnava Pranam, but we are doing the whole scripture as one set of conversation. So today, as we have ended Nectar of Devotion, I request all of you to please unmute and recite the Vaishnava Pranam prayer both in Sanskrit and English together. And as I am reciting these prayers, what you see on the screen with the Vaishnava falling straight in a Dandvat Pranam is how I am offering obeisances to all devotees, all Vaishnavis. So let's everybody unmute and everybody can recite the Sanskrit and English together. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desired trees.
And they're
Full
full
of
of
compassion
fallen.
fallen souls.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for your association. Please provide me feedback and we will stop here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.